Hello, thank you for taking the time out to take a look at this presentation that we've put together here at Circle Cloud. My name's Thomas Roberton. I oversee the implementations and managed services team at Circle Cloud. And today we've built a presentation that we want to run through with both our customers and any other sort of IT contacts within other businesses or IT companies who might be interested in a solution that we've put together for our customers in response to the high number of inquiries and queries that we've had around the COVID-19 virus and the working from home requirements if everyone was to be sort of self-isolated at home. So what we've had is, we've been inundated with inquiries from our customers to basically buy laptops for all of their employees so that they can work from home. And obviously this can be particularly expensive. So the real issues with this, one is the laptops are actually running out of stock from a lot of distributors, and it's actually proven quite difficult to get hold of them, especially in any sort of reasonable quantity. Secondly, there's a significant business cost to this, and we were sort of a bit alarmed about the cost that that our customers are going to incur. So basically, if our customers are buying, I don't know, 10, 20 laptops for their employees, they might actually be buying laptops that they'll never use, or that they might use for a very short period of time. So we've had a little think about this internally to see if we can come up with a solution that is more cost effective for our customers, and that would really incur costs if this situation did arise, and the cost would basically be reflective of how long the working from home requirement was actually there. We've put our heads together internally and we've had to think about what we can do to solve this problem for our customers without the high risk or the high cost that they're actually going to encounter by buying lots of laptops for everybody. What we've come up with is basically the ability to host Windows 10 desktops on Azure virtual machines, and those virtual machines will be fully configured with your businesses or with our customers' businesses applications, line of business applications, and connected to their infrastructure by using the Azure networking capabilities such as VPNs. The solution will basically enable all of our customers' staff to log on from home using their personal device, their personal machine or desktop laptop, and they'll connect to a hosted virtual machine, which will then be their working computer for the working day, and that would just be a full screen desktop in Azure. So all they're using their personal machine for is a way of connecting to this virtual machine. We've put some steps in place which I'll go through a little bit later to ensure the security of the virtual machines whilst using them from a personal desktop. So how are we going to do this? Basically what we're going to do is we're going to build virtual machines in the Azure cloud running Windows 10, and these machines will have the ability again to connect to all of the business network, the on-premises network or the cloud network, both if needs be, and they'll basically connect to the network in the same way that a laptop with a VPN client would work and would have the connectivity capabilities. Then what we're going to do is we're going to install and configure all of the businesses, all of our customers' applications on those machines. And then the users would use their personal machines at home to connect to these Windows 10 desktops in the cloud, which then they could use to perform all their operation and access all of the business applications. And the beauty of it is that the customer would just pay a retainer for each of these machines rather than the full running cost. And they would only pay the full running cost of these machines if and when they actually needed to utilize them. So if and when people did need to work from home and did need to be self-isolated, I suppose. The security controls that we've put in place around this solution are two things. One, we will prevent any data transfer happening from the virtual machine to the personal machine and vice versa. So there's no sort of data transfer between the two machines. That wouldn't be possible. So that would prevent any sort of viruses or any sort of malware from being able to go from a personal machine into the business machine and obviously into the business environment. The second security measure that we've put in place is multi-factor authentication. So when a user connects to the business virtual machine, or the business desktop in Azure, they will basically be sent a code, or an authentication app will prompt them on their mobile phone to confirm that it's them who's logging into the machine. And that's important because these machines are going to be publicly facing. So therefore we need to ensure that it is who we want it to be accessing the machine. They actually are accessing the machine, it is them. So a very simple comparison between the laptop solution and then our solution with a visual diagram just to help build that picture. Very simple, well-known solution is buy a laptop, configure the applications, install them, install a VPN application on there so you connect back to the head office or the server infrastructure. And then once someone takes that laptop home, they use their home internet connection to connect to that VPN, access all their applications. In the Circle Cloud solution, the solution that we've come up with, that we've offered and we've deployed now for some of our customers, what we're basically suggesting is that people just work on their own personal machine at home. They connect to an Azure virtual machine, and that virtual machine has got access to all of their applications. So that might be Office 365, it might be any other line of business applications, finance packages, CRMs, and it might be any other access to any other infrastructure such as on-premises file servers, domain controllers, remote desktop servers, any of the usual sort of infrastructure that might be in place. So we'll basically build a machine in Azure that you can access in real time via the internet, which will give you access to all of your work applications. Some prerequisites for this to work, and what we recommend is, before sort of considering this solution, is that you carry out a basic inventory and ensure that staff have laptops or desktops at home. It might be the case that the majority of people do and a couple of them don't, and if that's the case, it still might be worth buying those users a couple of laptops rather than everybody laptops and still using this solution, and they would then use those laptops to connect to the Azure virtual machines. It still probably would be cost effective depending on the ratio of people who did have machines of their own and those who didn't. So what's the process for setting this solution up, and how do we go from basically the current situation to having this solution implemented, fully configured and ready to go as and when you would need it to go live? So what we do with our customers, and what we've done so far, is we basically agree a checklist of software that the standard build would require. We'd configure the network in Azure to ensure it can access all of the relevant network and components that it would need to make the applications work. We would then build only one, we would build only the first machine, and then we would test it. We would test all of the software and we would hand it over to the customer so they can perform some testing, provide us with feedback. We can implement the feedback, correct anything that isn't working, get that build so it's working fully to allow the business to continue its operation. Once the customer signs it off and they're happy with that, we would then build any additional copies of that machine to the amount that they would actually need. So it would be one per user. So once we've got that first template machine, we would then repeat that process for as many machines as the customer would require. Once we've built all those machines, we would then shut them down. So then they're not incurring any significant charges, not incurring the running costs in Azure. And then we'd leave those shut down until the customer informs us that they actually needed them to go live, and we can make those machines go live within a matter of minutes. So probably the most important bit, because this solution is based around reducing costs and reducing financial risk. How does this model work? How is it priced? There's three components to this, and the first one is obviously the setup. Our customers that have implemented this so far have been charged a £650 one-off cost for us to set up the first machine to specification and allow the customer to go through that testing process. Once we've got that machine set up, we then charge a £50 per machine to configure any additional machines. Once that machine has been configured and set up, and all of the other machines have been configured and set up and they're running, we would then shut those machines down and the commercial model moves into the dormant machine phase. Once those machines are dormant, they're actually shut down, but they do obviously retain their full configuration. The fee for those machines, whilst they're actually shut down, is £18 per month per machine, which that fee basically covers the storage costs in Microsoft Azure, and it also enables us to basically ensure the machines are fully patched and have got all the security updates applied to them, because it could be a matter of months before you actually need to invoke the machines, and they could be significantly out of date by the time you actually did need to use them. Obviously those machines could be dormant for as long as necessary. Then there'll be a time, or there's a likelihood that there's going to be a time where those machines will need to become live. Once those machines are live, there'll be the machine for a standard sort of build, which is a machine that would have 2 cores and 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gig hard disk space. We would charge £72 per machine per month, which includes full management, patch management and support from the Certal Cloud Managed Services team. You can see with this model, the cost really is only anything significant when the machines would actually be used. So, for example, if you use these machines for live for 3 months, which I think would be quite an extreme scenario for people to have to work, for all your employees have to work from home for 3 months continuously, then per machine it's only going to cost you about £220 per month, which is still significantly less than a laptop that would meet that specification. Obviously that's bear in mind if it was 3 months as well, which is unlikely. This is basically how we believe that this solution can deliver exactly what our customers need, but without that financial risk. Slide, we're going to provide a little bit more detail on the cost breakdown during the go live phase. The cost is basically made up of the Azure running cost for that specification of virtual machine. So as you can see, the example we used on the previous slide, which is 2 CPUs and 8 gigs of RAM with 128 gig disk, is £60 per month in Azure. Then you've got the £12 a month management and support fee from ourselves, from our managed services team, and the only additional cost that you would incur is the 2-factor authentication solution that we would use. We actually use Duo if anyone's actually looking to implement this solution themselves or for any of their own customers. Duo's the sort of recommended 2-factor authentication for actually providing 2-factor authentication when logging onto a computer or to a remote server. That solution would basically cost £2.50 per user per month if you have more than 10 users, and you would only incur that on the 11th user and above. But we did primarily make this presentation for our existing customers. The feedback we've had has been really positive, and customers are actually we're on implementing this now for multiple customers. We thought, well, we might as well share this online so other people can maybe just get some inspiration for their own solution. They might want to implement this themselves, or if people did want to actually get in touch with us, we could also discuss implementing this for new customers as well. We thought we'd just put a little bit in here just to sort of introduce ourselves as well and give you an idea of, if you were to get in touch with us, why would you actually use us to build such a solution? Certal Cloud, we're a specialist. We're an IT company who specialise in the Microsoft Cloud. So we specialise with Microsoft Azure and we specialise in Office 365. Because of our experience and the amount of work we've done with those products, we've actually been awarded the Microsoft Gold Cloud Platform Partner status. And because of our work with our security controls that we've got in place, we're actually ISO 27001 accredited. And we've actually managed to attain this with BSI, which is the UK's leading standards organisation for information security certification. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions on the solution, anything that might be specific to your own environment, or it might be a generic question, just get in touch with us. Either comment on the post or where you've seen this, or get in touch with us via our website, certalcloud.co.uk. Thank you very much for watching.